I was concerned that a parent said, I wanted to know which schools are working to help kids get ahead. See, that's my problem with some of these growth notions. All schools are working to help kids get ahead. Some are doing it more effectively than others, but to assume that student growth means if your student growth isn't high, nobody's working to help the students get ahead is the problem I'm trying to avoid. And that is an issue. It's a serious issue. I also think, you know, that we need to be very careful when we say that that schools are filling detention centers. That would assume that the school is the only implication on what's happening in communities, when in fact what's happening in the communities are affecting the schools as well as the schools affecting the communities. So I take umbrage with the notion that if the students aren't reading well, that the point of that is that schools are filling detention centers. We're filling detention centers with low-income kids, but there are a lot of influences on that that have nothing to do with our schools. And I just want to clear that up as to my point of view. I think the most important thing that I want to say, though, is that I've spent my entire adult life working to increase the outcomes for students in low-income neighborhoods, including where I've taught and authoring the bond issue that built all of the schools that got us out of the problems that we had. I had an opportunity to do that, and we did that. I want to continue to say that I find it very ironic that charter schools who use Skypes so that parents don't know what's going on come here and tell us that we need to be more transparent. I have to say that because I'm very tired of hearing that we aren't transparent. We aren't the ones that find out that years later that their director embezzled thousands of dollars. We aren't the ones who insist that self-reporting is the only way that they're going to give information to the district. Why should it be self-reporting? And I just want to say to you that if we don't get beyond this business of attacking each other, you know, by saying, oh, you're not being transparent, or you don't care what parents think, or we don't care about, none of that's true. We have real disagreements on how to move forward, but those disagreements are not based on not wanting kids to do better and not wanting to make sure the resources are available to help students do better wherever they are. And I'll end where I started, which is to say that whenever you have a summative score, you end up with the unintended consequences of people believing that that's a good school and that's a bad school. And once you go down that path, I can promise you, having taught in another district, that is a really bad way to go if you want to motivate people to work harder and get things to be better. So I believe that it's very important that we get away from this summative approach. Also, you know, summative approaches hide a lot. That's why we've been disaggregating information. Because you can have a group of students that are affluent in a school with also students that aren't, and have the affluent students be doing really well so their school gets a bigger summative rating, but the kids at the school that aren't affluent aren't doing so well at that same school. Summative ratings hide a lot. That's why we've begun disaggregating information, because it tells us much more about not just the school, but all the groups within it. And that's part of why I don't like summative ratings as well. So I appreciate the discussion, and I appreciate the input from people, and I ask respectfully for your aye vote.